Hello there. Welcome back to Accounting Space. In this video, I want to look at a question paper of June 2025. This is a recent question paper. So we are going to look at the question of the salary journal. So this is going to be our question one. So this is going to be our answer section. So in terms of our question, it reads, use the following information in the clause of Chioleka Express a beverage salary journal for the month ending July 2023. So on note, we have instruction that all calculations must be rounded up to the nearest rand. So very important that we take note of this part whereby we have to round off to the nearest rand. So with that, we also have to close off the salary journal. Closing off the salary journal means you have to add the totals in each and every column, and then you get the total. The totals are beneath, and put the total in the last row. So basically, this is what we have. So this is information that we have according to our question one. And of course, the deductions are as follows: instructions in terms of how we are going to articulate the deductions. In particular, we have got medical aid fund, we've got pension fund, we've got the payee, which is pay as you earn, and then we've got UIF. So we also have the employer's contribution section, whereby we have got the pension fund, which we have 65% of the employee's contribution. We've got the UIF, 1% of gross salary. Medical aid is 2 rand for each rand contributed by employees. So basically, if you look at this instruction, it means that the employees' contribution will be multiplied by 2 to get the medical aid. In other words, we are saying to get the medical aid of the employer, you multiply the one that we got for the employee by 2. So we are going to read there. So we go back to our answer section. You'd see that this is where we have the first part of our column where we have got our gross salary. So we have to first identify the gross salary of Gilbert and Jesse. So with the information given now, we see that if we come to this third point, we are given that Chioleka Express beverage contributes to the pension fund paid by the employees. Gilbert's remuneration per annum is 280,800. So basically, this is the annum remuneration. So, but at the basic salary of 23,400. Remember, the basic salary represents it represents the gross salary. So this is the gross salary. So we are saying for Gilbert, the gross salary is 23,400. And then we go and indicate as such, whereby we have 23,400. And we go back again to see for Jesse. You see that for Jesse, you are given the basic salary is 24,650. 24,650. So that's for Jesse. So we come again, we indicate as such 24,650. Then we have got now the pension fund column. So it means that this is now the deductions section. So we start with the pension fund. We go to the instruction that we have for pension fund. So pension fund, of course, we have it here, whereby it reads 7.5% of gross salary. So we go back, we see that we've identified our gross salary, and then we multiply by 7.5. So for Gilbert, we are saying 7.5%, which is, remember, 7.5%. If you divide it by 100, convert to a decimal, it becomes 0.075. So with that, we are going to multiply for Gilbert by 0.075. So we are saying 0.075, and multiply by this, you get your pension fund. So if you do a search, you would see that you are going to get your answer is 1,755. 1,755. So this is what we have. And then for pension fund for Jesse, we are also multiplying 0.075, and then we multiply by 24,650 to get our pension fund is 1,849. So we have 1,849. And then we go to the instruction of payee. So if you turn back, you see that in terms of payee, it's 25% of the gross salary after pension fund has been taken into account. So pension is the one that we have just calculated. So if I'm going to first subtract it from the gross salary, and then the net figure that we get, we multiply by 25%. So in other words, so we are saying if we come here, you'd see that for Gilbert, we are saying 25%. Of course, it is 25%. So we say 25%, and as a decimal, it's 0.25. And then we multiply it by the difference between our gross salary and the pension fund, which is 1,755. So we subtract 1,755. So the net figure that we get multiplied by 0.25. So if you do that, you get your payee is 5,411. So we have 5,411. And then we go to Jesse, we do the same thing. We say 0.25, we multiply by and the difference between the gross, which is 24,650, and then we subtract 1,849, which is our pension. So we calculate like that again. For Jesse, we are going to get it as 5,700. And remember, all the calculations, we are rounding off to the nearest rand. Wherever there is a comma, we round off to the nearest rand. Then we go to the medical aid, and check the instruction that we have under medical aid. So for medical aid, we are saying 624 rand for the member and 200 call for each dependent. So for Gilbert, we have only one dependent. It means we are going to say for the member, for Gilbert, we are saying 624 plus one member, which is one dependent, which is 200 call. So we add 200 and call. So we calculate like that. We're going to get our total medical aid for Gilbert is 836. So we have 836. Then we do the same thing for Jesse, whereby Jesse has two dependents. So we are saying 624 for Jesse plus the dependents, which one being 200 times 2. Which is because there are two dependents. So we calculate like that. You're going to get your answer is 1,048. So we come here, we indicate as such 1,048. So we go to UIF, the UIF column, and we see what is the instruction for UIF. So UIF is saying 1% of gross salary with a ceiling of 177 as per legislation. So the instruction that we have that there is a ceiling of 177 rands. It means if you calculate the UIF as 1% times the gross salary, if you get an answer which is above 177, you only take 177. They are not taking anything that is above 177. So in this case, we'll try to see what we have in terms of the UIF for the first worker, which is Gilbert. So if we say for Gilbert, we are saying 1%, of course, 1% as a decimal is 0.01, and then we multiply by the gross, which is 23,400. So we multiply it like that. We check what answer are we getting. So we get 234. 234. So this 234, we are saying it's above 177. So when we have such a scenario, we take 177. We don't take anything above 177. So in this case, for UIF for Gilbert is 177. So we do the same for Jesse, whereby we are saying 0.01, and then we multiply by the gross, which is 24,650. So you see that the answer that we are supposed to get at the nearest rand is 247. 247 again is above 177. So we also take 177 for adjacent. But if we got something like 156, which is below 177, we are supposed to put 156. So basically, this is on UIF. And of course, we've got staff assistance. But if you go to the information that we are given, you'd see that it's written that all the employees are obliged to pay an amount of 129 rands to the staff association. So 129 is going to apply to both the employees. So we come here, we have got 129, 129. So in terms of our total deductions, we are now adding our pension fund plus our payee plus medical aid plus UIA plus staff assistance. Then we get the total for our deductions. So we can try to add. So for Gilbert, we are going to get it as 8,308. So you do the same for Jesse. You are going to get as 8,903. So remember, we are saying for Jesse, it's 1,849 plus 5,700 plus 1,048 plus 177 plus 129, then you get your 8,903. Then we now move on to our net salary column, whereby net salary is equals to your gross salary minus your total deductions. So basically, we are saying the gross salary minus the total deductions, then you get your net salary. So we check now in terms of our Gilbert, we are saying 23,400. 23,400 minus 8,308, and then we get your net salary of 15,092. So we do the same thing for Jesse, 24,650 gross salary minus total deductions 8,903. You're going to get your answer as 15,747. Then I remember the instruction that that we have that says we can just try to refer back. That says close off the salary journal. Close off the salary journal. It means we are going to add the totals of each and every column. So we say we add the column for gross salary, 20,400 plus 24,650. You get your total as 48,050. So do the same thing for pension fund 1,755 plus 1,849. You are going to get your total is 3,604. For pay, our total is 11,111. Medical aid, our total is 1,884. Then UIF 177 plus 177, you get 354. Staff assistant 129 plus 129, you get 258. Total deductions again, we add them, we get 17,211. We add for net salary. Our total is 30,839. So this is what we have on that part. And then we move on to the employer's contribution section, whereby we start the pension fund. So employer's contribution, we have got further instructions given beneath. We have got here. Pension fund is 65% of the employee's contribution. So for the employer, it's 65% of the employee's contribution. So we are saying the employee's contribution, we have 1,755 for Gilbert. So it means the employer's contribution on Gilbert is going to be 65%, which is 0.65 times 1,755. So we calculate and see what we are going to get there. So we get 1,141. So which is this figure that is supposed to come here is Gilbert, employer's contribution for Gilbert on pension funds, which is 1,141. So we do the same thing for Jesse, whereby you're saying 1,849 times 0.65. So it's saying 0.65 times 1,849. We calculate like that, see that we're going to get 1,202. So this is the same figure that we are going to put here. So of course, we had to get the total. 1,141 plus 1,202, you get your 2,343. Then employer's contribution in terms of medical aid, we check the instruction. The instruction is saying for medical aid is 2 rand for each rand contributed. So basically, we are saying the medical aid for the employee we multiply by 2. So it's as simple as that. So to get the employer's contribution for medical aid, for JC, we are saying 836 times 2. So let's try to calculate and see what we get. We're going to get 1,672. So we put it as medical aid for Gilbert, which is 1,672. So we do the same thing for Jesse, whereby we are saying 1,048 times 2, and you get your answer as 2,096. So we put 2,096. Then we add to get the total. For the column for medical aid, we're going to get 3,768. Then UIF again, we check the instruction. UIF, they are saying 1% of gross salary, which is the same as what we have on the employee, saying also 1% of gross salary. And then also it has an additional which says with a ceiling of 177, which is also going to apply on the employer. So it means the same UIF that we have for Gilbert and Jesse is going to apply to the employer. So we are saying we are taking 177 and 177 for both of them, 177. So we put 177. And of course, the total is 354. Then on the total column, we're adding the total for employer's contribution. So we're saying 1,141 plus 1,672 plus 177. You get a total of 2,990. Then the same thing here, 1,202 plus 2,096 plus 177. You get a total of 3,475. And then you add the column for total, you get the final total is 6,000. 465. And our total marks, we have got 42 marks. So thank you for listening, and hopefully the video was helpful. And please, let's not forget to subscribe and share the link to our colleagues who are doing introductory accounting. And let's meet again in the next video.